Heath says, when it comes to internal linking to power up a site with lots of pages, what are some of your techniques, analysis, and tools you use? And how to use those decisions to play a part in structuring the architecture of the site moving forward. Cheers. Well, now Heath, I do all of my site structuring for what's called the top-down linking, internal linking approach, which is 180 degrees opposite from what I did for most of my SEO career, which was always a bottom-up linking approach. So, all of my sites are going to, depending on the configuration, right? Is it a single location business? Is it a multi-location business? Is it a multi-state business where it covers multiple states? Like that's going to depend on how I build the site. Am I building a simple silo structure, or am I building a complex silo structure? Am I going to build, and then so you got to kind of start with what type of site do you need to build, right? What is the circumstances? Again, is it a single location? Is it a storefront business, single location? Or is it a service area business, single location that has a large service area? So they want to target many locations, but they're only serving it from one physical Google business profile, right? Or is it a multi-location, service area business? So you have to kind of go through all these different scenarios and determine what is the most appropriate site structure for this scenario. Then you start to build that way. And so as far as internal linking, I do everything from the top down approach, meaning I always want to be linking in the direction of inwards towards the site, deeper into the URL structure. Why do I do that now? Because now my link building has changed entirely from doing bulk link spam, where we used to power up posts that were published or syndicated to Web 2s, and we would just hammer Web 2s with the branded Web 2s that had syndicated posts with bulk link spam. And so I wanted the direction of the link flow to flow from the lowest point, the blog post, right, up through the site, up to the more important pages, top of silo, etc., the product and service pages. But now, because I don't use bulk link spam anymore, because it's lack of relevance, it's lack of effectiveness, the need to constantly be buying new links because they lose their value, or they get the index or lost, or all that kind of stuff. So everything now I do is with relevant links, that a lot less of them. So what I want to do is I want to build links to, now with the internal linking structure going the other way, with linking from the top level pages down into the site, right? Deeper into the site, down further into the silo structure, further into the hierarchy, etc., further into the URL. Then I can hit what I call directories or folders on the site, higher levels that will then flow through everything below it, beneath it, under it, right? So it's a much more efficient way to when you need to build links. It's much more efficient to build links to directory pages or folder pages, right? That then, because of your internal linking method or structure, will flow down through all of its subordinate pages or posts, whatever they are. Right. So that's the way that I do it. Is now, as far as if you have an existing site that you want to kind of analyze what is the internal link structure and all of that, the website auditor tool, I think they've got the sale going on right now again. Maybe I'm wrong, but I've seen a bunch of emails recently from them, so they might have another sale going on. But the website auditor and ranked, they're desktop tools, whatever they are. Website auditor was on AppSumo for a while for $50. But that tool is great for visual sitemaps, because it will show you internal linking and what they call in-rank or in-links, or I think they call it in-rank, which is like, it will show you how the internal linking and where the flow of link equity goes through the site. And so I really like to use that because, once you kind of identified what type of structure that you want to build, and you for local businesses, if you're in the same industry, which again, I've been hammering that for years, you can duplicate that same structure over and over and over again. So once you get it, once you figured it out, you just duplicate that over and over again. By the way, guys, I did this in the tree service industry. I spent many months last year specifically testing different site structures. I've talked a lot about them on Humpty Hangouts. Don't have time to cover it again today. But I mean, literally to just kind of test different structures and that's how I determined the other linkings. The top-down approach is more effective for the type of links that I'm building now. And also I've simplified the site builds in the tree service industry. We have one service page now instead of multiple service pages. We have a topical or product or service silo, and now location silos that do cross-link. So these are all things. That's why I'm saying, like, again, single industry guys, because you can test with different site structures and different internal linking patterns and you figure out what performs the best. And then you just duplicate that over and over and over again for every subsequent client. And so hopefully that makes sense. But seriously, the top-down approach is much better, in my opinion, if you're going to be building with higher quality links that because there's all kinds of really cool things that you can do when you have the site structure built the way that I'm talking about, because you can push topical links in or topically relevant links into pretty much any part of the site, but you can push geographic links into different folder structures, like at different levels. You can get hyper local with stuff that's specific to that city, but you can go a little bit broader with county relevance or state or region relevance, and then state relevance ultimately. So depending on where you're linking to within the site, depends on what type of link you build, you place, if that makes sense, or on what source, what link source you use. So there's a lot of really cool things that you can do when you have a silo structure. I like to use the physical URL structure now, which shows, or physical silo structure, which shows the hierarchy in the URL, as opposed to a virtual, because again, you can visibly see where you're like kind of injecting link equity and relevance, etc.